All right. Good morning, good afternoon, solar warrior tribe, power hitters, fellow solarpreneurs. My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual solar pro, your host today as we kick off today's weekly training. Today is, what is it? The 28th. I'm losing track. 28th of March, 2023. And right now we are in a time that's unprecedented in solar sales history with the closing of NEM 2 here in California. We're going to kick off this training like we do every single week with some success stories, but we have a great training for everyone today. We're going to talk about how to sell a clean deal with Powur. So with that being said, let's just move right into this. Success stories like we do every single week. If you have one, go ahead, raise your hand in the chat. I'll call on you. We're going to call on a few people, but then quickly move on. And then if you have a success story, try to keep it to 30 seconds, a minute, so we can get to a few of you guys. Let's see here. Boom. Who has a success story they'd like to share?
I do, Jarrett.
All right. Who was that? Hey,
Jeez.
What's up, champ? JC Rangel. How you doing, my brother?
Doing great, man. Thanks, man.
Hey, real quick, before you jump into that, can I just say shout out to you on your training building with Bobby last Friday. I caught that, and that was straight fuego, my brother, fuego.
Thank you.
And if you can, before the end of this, if you have that recorded, could you drop that into the chat to share with everyone? Because if you did not see it, you should definitely see it. If you saw it already, you should see it again. It was that good, man.
Brother, I appreciate it. Yeah, I know that Bobby was recording it, but I'm gonna get it and put it on YouTube if he hasn't already. So thanks, bro.
Perfect. What you got?
Yeah, I got a win, a couple wins. Last week I closed 4 or 5 deals and recruited 4 or 5 people as well. And I just realized last week that I became #1 all-time sales in Powur. So I'm excited about being the #1 mentor 2 years in a row and all-time sales. So excited about that. And we're just doing the same thing that we always do: recruit, sell, and teach to recruit and sell. Thanks, guys.
That's right, brother. Man, and once again, if you guys did not catch JC's training last week, I mean, he touches on all of that and really the root to his success, and that is recruiting, right? Because with recruiting, you bring on new sellers. New sellers bring on new leads. Powur is the greatest lead source in the solar industry. The secret is out. If you don't know, now you know. So with that being said, thank you for that. Yeah, definitely share that recording when you get a chance, brother. We got Bill. Bill, what you got for us?
Okay, let me unmute, get up there. Hey, mine's a bigger win. I decided that I was going to cut my ending here on April 1st and do something between April 1st and the SolarCon other than worry about squeezing in deals. And I thought it was going to be skiing, but I got invited to go sailing, to sail a boat from the Grand Canaries to Mallorca. And it's been a lifelong opportunity. And I jumped at it, and I leave tomorrow actually to fly to Morocco and then on to the Grand Canaries. And I wouldn't be able to do it if I was working, a 9-to-5er or had less freedom than I have with Powur. So it's a win to the platform. It's a win to me personally. And also my longtime girlfriend lover's birthday was last night. And you know what? I did close a deal after dinner, but I took the time to have a nice dinner and to have time with her. And I didn't put her on hold until April 1st or April 15th. So that's the way I'm choosing to live my life. And I'm not going to make #1 sales, JC, although I appreciate your energy, but I'm going to live the Powur life that I want to live. That's my win.
Bill.
Congratulations, Bill. That's awesome.
Dude, I absolutely love that. Those are my favorite wins, are the lifestyle wins and what this platform does for us. You having the ability to go fulfill a dream of yours because of the platform, not being tied down to a 9-to-5, total location freedom, financial freedom. That's killer, man. I mean, that's right there, hits it in the heart, because that's what this is all about for a lot of us. And for you to be achieving that is an incredible win. And a happy birthday to the missus.
Thank you. And I'll even add that the person I'm sailing with is a co-Powur person who brought me back into looking at solar. We were real estate investors for a while together, and he got back into solar. And I'm like, I did solar. It's a solar coaster. I don't want to do solar anymore. But after talking to him and Jim Bunch and a few others, Charles, you guys know the rest, I came back in a little over 2 years ago, and it's not been easy, but I'm actually loving it. So,
Right
Hey, Bill,
on,
did you have to ask your boss for time off for the trip?
yes, I looked in the mirror and I asked a real specific question.
And,
Do you
and
want to do
she
this or
said
not?
yes. She said yes.
Right answer. Right answer. Congratulations. Look forward to you selling a deal from where? From Morocco, do you say?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah,
That'd
I
be
got a
quite the
couple left to
story,
close.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you. And I'll try to post some stuff on Facebook. I'm a little bit of a Facebook voyeur, and I know that needs to change because if I'm a secret agent, people can't find me. But
Right.
anyway. Thanks for letting me share. I really appreciate everybody on this call.
That's a great win, Bill. Thank you for sharing that. All right, from one Bill to another. What's up, Mr. Conley? How you doing, brother?
Hey, hi everybody. What a blessing, Bill, to hear you say that, and so happy for you. And I just want to congratulate, all of the Power Warriors, but especially everybody in California. I'll bet you it's bigger than, but we're at a 5x clip in this state for deals. The company is, at least. I know I'm having the best month I've ever had in my life, and my number one guy, Tony Brennan, tier 3 mentor here in California. We have a little contest going. We're going to share our results next week. I can just tell you that we're going, and it's just phenomenal. But all of you, I know, just like you said, Jared, hair on fire, no time, can't hardly breathe, but having a ball doing it. And it's just like phenomenal stuff going on. I know I've heard it from a number of you, so I know where everybody is. I just want to say congratulations, and let's we got basically 4 more days to do this. Let's make it happen.
Love it, Bill. Yeah, in fact, Tom, who unfortunately can't make the meeting today, wanted me to share about how you guys have like this, everyone hitting 20 deals per, and I think you guys, between the 5 of you, are going to have 100 deals sold this month, man. So that is an incredible win. I'm looking forward to the final numbers at the end of the month. So rock on. All right, we're going to go Fitzgerald, Eric. I'm going to share one, and then we're going to move on. Fitzgerald, what you got, brother?
How's it going, everybody? Well, I'm a little awestruck, to be honest with you, by the incredible tales of success I'm hearing around me. And my win is it's a small win today because I just joined Powur maybe a week and a half ago. I went and networked at a convention, and I do work as a DJ at 5 different bars. I've been growing my natural network over there, and I've got my first couple of leads. But this is sort of a journey of 1,000 miles moment. This is the first step that journey begins with. And it's really damn cool to be a part of this moment. The context is kind of lost on me and how intense California is right now. But getting on this call and seeing everybody just like obliterating it fills my heart with joy.
Right on, Fitzgerald. Love it, bro. Where are you calling from? Where are you at?
I'm calling from Massachusetts, brother.
All right. What kind of music you DJ?
Oh man, so if you've ever seen Music Bingo, it's kind of sweeping across the Northeast in absurd popularity. So it's a little bit of variety. I throw some Will Smith on, I throw a little bit of Crosby, Stills and Nash, some Genesis, Pat Benatar, Hart. It's a sweet deal, man.
Right.
I was a radio DJ before this, and it's just kind of like a continuation. I get to meet a ton of people, have a great time. I tell them all about my new business. It's the place where my clients are coming in from.
Right on, brother. Well, I love it, dude. And hey,
yeah.
Mass is a hot market. Make sure to attend those market meetings. We're going to get on that. But welcome to the platform, dude. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I love that energy. All right, right on. Quickly, if we can knock it out. All right, Eric, and then Jose, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Yeah, so I've been on the platform for about a year and a half, no solar experience, 100% networking, BNI, warm leads. Sold a total of probably like 22, have another project coming in for the month. Between mentoring and personal, one of my personals has got 24 personal sales for the month as well, and another one of my guys, Ray, he's got 5 sales for the month. So pushing out here to close up NEM 2.
Fire, bro. Love it, Eric. Great job, man. Absolutely crushing it. Jose, what do you got?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this last week I got the opportunity to go down to Mexico to do a mission trip through a group that I've been networking with. Anyways, we worked our butts off. It was hot. I was on the beach and I was able to close the deal from the beach, send documents to someone that was on my pipeline. Up here in Northern California, we're doing a ton of roofs and solar. The majority of them right now are coming through BNI. So I know you guys have heard it on here before. BNI works. I think I have like 6 deals directly through them this month. So keep going and it should be getting better.
Love it, love it, love it, man. Closing deals on the beach, power of the Powur platform. And BNI, it works if you work it straight. Before we move on, I had some wins I wanted to share. Quickly, once again, shout out to Michelle and Jim Pointer, who joined the platform last week. They're about to be crushing it, being new mentors out in Vegas. My buddy Tim Gorning, who had 3 sales last week that I helped mentor. Anna brought on a new contractor out in Florida. His name is Christopher Gibson with the Solar Pros installation crew, new enterprise. Welcome to the platform, Christopher. And then my brother from the same mother, Mr. Andrew McAllister, my little broski, generated a lead and got on the platform, and we crushed the sale last night. Andrew, do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, man. So it was really cool. I had a buddy give me a lead yesterday. I put it in. I gave it to my brother. We were able to get a same day appointment. 8 o'clock last night. I hopped on the Zoom call with Jarrett, and it was something I've never witnessed. It was like a sales symphony. Jarrett was not only the conductor, he was also the band, and it was seamless. Going from the hello all the way into they're entering their bank information. And I think it went an hour and 1 minute on the dot. And yeah, my buddy, he was able to come in as an ambassador. He made 1,000. Me and Jarrett, we cashed out, and it was amazing.
Right on, man. Yeah, that was cool. No, that was fun doing that together, man. I'm hoping to do some more deals together. So
Sure.
Well, right on. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your wins. We're going to go ahead and move on. As I mentioned, Tom's not here to bless us with a little power perspective, but you know what? I think we got some over some of those wins, right? The perspective of how great this platform is, giving us all the freedom to live the lives that we all were born to live. So there's a little perspective for you. Don't forget, Powur Vision is now live in California, Florida, and Texas. It's soon. I'm hoping by the end of April, it's going to roll out to all across the country. I think that's the word on the street. And man, these market development meetings, if you are not attending these, as Bobby Smith says, lose my number, right? If you are not on the market development meeting for the market that you work, what are you even doing? This is where all the golden nuggets are dropped. This is where all the insider information, this is how you're going to grow your market in that area. So make sure to get on powercalendar.com and attend these meetings. California NEM 3.0, we all know what's going on here. There are delays. Project managers are behind by a day or two. So be kind to your PM in responding to a ticket. Do not send a ticket, send an email, drop another ticket, because every ticket goes into an email in their funnel, and then you're stacking them up and you're causing more delays. Just be patient. If you don't hear anything within a day, go to the chat or follow up, but at least give it a day or two, right, at this very moment in time. And then there is a message down here that if you guys want to see, copy paste. In fact, what I'll do is I'll copy paste this, put it in the chat. Send this to your customers, send it to your clients. You know, just letting them know that there are delays, unprecedented times in the industry, to be patient. We will get it done. And then, by the way, if they have a referral of somebody that wants to get locked in before the deadline, shoot it on over. They'll be $1,000 richer. And then last but not least, look at this leaderboard, you guys. It is heating up for top sales of the month. I love how many power hitters and solar warriors are on the leaderboard for this is the entire company, right? So topping off sales, you know, we have everyone from Owen Carey with 12. These are personal sales, not mentor deals, right? We have our Jonathan Bernaza with 18 personal sales, Jordan Shaw with 23, Solar Guru with 55. That is unreal. New referrals this month. We have our Jonathan Bernasso leading the pack with 7 personal. His brother right behind him was 6, which I'm sure he'll overtake him by the end of the month. We even have Tom Cotter in 8th place with 4. And then the one that I'm, you know, invested in, right? The tier 3 seller ranks this month. Mr. Bernasso in 10th place with 14. Imagine having 14 tier 3s and being 10th in the company, right? Our Cynthia Alvidrez with 15, Luis Perez, Wally with 16. And then there is a dead tie. I mean, it is neck and neck between myself, Tony Denner, and Janice. Tony and I both with 18. Janice has 19. And then once again, that 55 up at the top. I think there's a match there between Solar Guru and Miguel. Might be something going on there. But anyways, shout out to everybody who's leading the charge. This is obviously the best month we've ever had. And we got a few more days to push it. So with that being said, with all these sales going in, right? And NEM 3 being so important, us getting stuff, you know, on time, clean deals, making sure everything sticks properly. We brought over from Powur Corporate to talk, Daniel, Bianca, and Donald from the Powur Corporate team, talk about how to submit a clean deal so it sticks, so we don't end up getting stuck because it doesn't have a utility bill or you didn't get the financing done correctly. So real quick, do we have Daniel, Bianca, and Donald here?
Yep, we're on.
All right. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, brother?
All right, how you doing, man?
Good, good, good. So let me do this. Do you have any slides to share?
No, we really were just going to talk through some of the things that have been going on and some of the enhancements that we've made, and then open it up to really Q&A to the team. We've had a lot of questions lately, and think maybe that's a better use of the time, is to answer some burning questions, but give you some detail about where we are.
Okay.
You know, I would reiterate your message from a moment ago, and I'm sure everybody knows, but it's busy, right? It's not just busy in California, although the drinking from the fire hose is happening in California right now, but it's busy. We're having one of our largest contract months ever, and that puts a strain, right? On higher operations to push these things down the pipeline and get them installed. So just know that the internal team, right, the corporate team, is doing everything we can to get these projects into the pipeline and started. And then obviously the PM and OM team is doing everything they can at that point of handoff to get these projects installed and powered on.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is crazy. So let's talk numbers really quick. What kind of numbers is Powur producing right now? Like, how many contracts are being submitted a day?
Don, can you give the latest from Invisible?
Yep. So actually yesterday we had a ton pop in. We're at about 150 as of right now for a day.
150 contracts a day.
Yep, that's across everybody though. That's, you know, of course, California is our line.
Thought it was glorious.
Sorry about that. Having some network issues here.
How many of
What's
those are
going
coming out of
on?
California?
Yeah, that was
Um,
my next question.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we'd have to break the data out. We can send you some updated information around contracts processing so that the team could see the breakout by region. I'm sure that we can pull the data and send it out. So ultimately, we are seeing an increase project work with IT, like in Work Week 12. We worked over 1,000 projects in the intake team that particular week. So it is a lot of projects in the front of the funnel. And what we would ask of the team is, we can tell you the top reasons that projects get held, and if you can help us improve those things, that'll help tremendously in ensuring the projects stay clean and move quickly through that timeline. Today, loan docs missing, price mismatch, name and email mismatch, and then utility bills you called out, Jared, are some of the top items that cause projects to be delayed. And when those things happen, those get flagged over to contract review, and contract review will work with the seller to clear those items. And then that's really dependent upon how quickly those items get cleared with the seller's help and how long it takes for that project to move downstream. A clean project that comes in, no problems, everything there that's needed to be there, will be through intake, through contract review, and into project start with the welcome team within 48 hours. Anything that gets held up along the way for whatever those reasons are is really dependent upon how quickly we can clear that item with the seller. Sometimes it's within hours, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer. It depends upon the responsiveness that we get from the team. Now, I know that we've had some recent challenges, not only with raised from this team, but really across the organization, with some of the emails coming relative to missing items on projects. So we are working diligently to make some changes there based on that feedback from the team, to ensure that the only thing that we're flagging out to you as sellers are the things that are within your control, and not calling out items that may need to be completed that may not be in your control. It's definitely caused quite a bit of confusion and frustration from across the sales organization recently. The intake email that's come out that says, hey, you know, these HOA docs are missing, or the interconnection application, those items are missing. And then unfortunately, again, we're going to make some changes that'll help eliminate some of the emails that you're receiving. But when you get those things, again, we want you to work quickly with the team to clear those items, so that we can move the project down to project start as quickly as possible.
Understood. Let me ask you some questions, right? So this is great because I'm going to get to interview you guys, because I want to know how the hot dog's made, right? Like, you know, the back end, behind the curtain a little bit. So let's talk from the beginning. So if I'm on Solo, I'm on Vision, right? And I sell a deal. I want to make it clean. I want to make sure the name on the agreement is going to match the name on the financing. We know that has to be the name on title for financing to go through. So when let's say, and I've had this happen before, you sell ideally you want to sell the deal. You request the docs, they sign it. You request loan docs, they sign it.
Yep.
Then you have both the loan docs. What happens when they sign both? Does it go into a queue? How do you guys know that both docs have been signed? And then what's the timing between if you didn't get loan docs and contract docs both signed, that it falls into some other place where it kind of feels like it gets left behind? And
yeah, so I would say once the contract is generated, it goes into the team for processing, and then part of that check that happens is a checklist of items, loan doc being the first of those checklist of items. And it goes into a queue, like you said. And if today you were the first person in the queue, you'd be the first one to get worked, and kind of on down the line. And typically we clear that queue every day. I would say that as of late, again, we've had much higher contract volume than we would have expected. So we did build somewhat of a backlog over the last couple of weeks, but we've cleared that this past weekend. So again, in the day that it comes in, we're typically clearing, and those projects that are signed from a contracts and loan perspective are cleared and pushed downstream, as long as they're clean projects. The only caveat to that is, again, if it comes in at 9 o'clock tonight, it's not going to get processed. It'll get processed next day. If a item is missing, right, let's say the loan docs weren't there or the loan docs weren't signed, then the item gets flagged for contract review. That contract review team is going to first in, first out, right? So those things that come in the morning that are in their queue, they're going to work. And again, we're clearing that queue all day, every day. We typically don't roll any items that can be cleared to the next day. Now, again, that's dependent upon if we had to reach out to a seller, for example, to have the loan documents uploaded. If they were uploaded them 30 minutes from now, that project would be cleared and moved downstream 30 minutes from now. But if it takes them a day or two to respond, then that sits in contract review until we can get that item cleared with the seller, if that makes sense.
Okay, it does make sense. And, you know, because, and listen, I understand we're all working as hard as we can, unprecedented numbers. We are just going through it, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. What do you think the number one thing that you guys see that prevents a deal from moving forward to the next step, from getting assigned to an installer or project manager?
Yeah, I would say the top, and let me just give you the top 5 because I can tell you exactly what they are. Loan docs missing and or unsigned is number 1. Number 2 is loan price mismatch. So the contract price doesn't match the loan price. 3 would be the no utility bill being attached to the overall document package, utility rate mismatch, and then name or email mismatch. Those are really the top drivers inside the seller's control. And if they can ensure that those things are accurate, it keeps that project moving much more quickly and no need for an outreach to happen.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about a couple. Obviously, if you don't have loan docs signed, it's just not a complete deal yet, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you were to, let's say you signed the project docs, and for whatever reason, there was a stipulation on loan, because this happens to me sometimes, right? Like I'll sell the docs, I'll call them. They're like, hey, they need to upload title on the home to get this cleared. And then they might not be able to do it right then. Hey, I can do it after work. They get that. Next day they call, they clear. So now I got loan docs signed the next day. But I signed, you know, the project docs were signed the day before.
Yep.
What is the best course of action for a sales rep to then say, hey, I have everything? Because at this point, it's technically probably sitting in contract review 24 hours later without loan docs. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's sitting with the team for clearing of that flagged item. And the best thing to do is to respond to the email that comes out from contract review that says, hey, I've taken care of this, and we'll go clear that and move it downstream right away. The team is also constantly checking. Now, constantly checking means that they're reviewing anything that gets flagged, but it's going to get eyes on it much quicker if Jarrett goes, hey, just uploaded these docs, everything's signed, now we should be good to go, and we'll move it downstream.
Now, if I want to be proactive, let's say I haven't even gotten I have not received an email from contract review yet. Would it best for me to go on to chat? Should I just email contract review? Like what's my best course of action?
You can go on the
to get
chat
this thing
and do
pushed
the
forward?
same. Yep, you can go on the chat and let them know that those documents are uploaded now, and then they can flag contract review for you as well.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
You know, from a live support perspective, chat is always your first outreach.
Absolutely.
And the best way to get in touch with us from a sales support perspective. Contract review is kind of an entity in its own, but they absolutely are working hand in hand with contract review to clear any questions that you may have or items that are pending for review.
Okay. You mentioned utility bill. You know, sometimes, you know, when clients send over a utility bill, it's not just one PDF, right? Sometimes they took they had to peel it out of the garbage can, right? They've taken multiple pictures. Well, you can only upload one pic where it says utility bill. Sometimes you have to upload the rest in assets. What do you recommend? I mean, are you guys looking where the utility bill is supposed to be uploaded and then also going to assets, making sure it's in there as well before saying, hey, the utility bill missing? And if you have,
we'll check both places typically. We want to make sure we're checking Powur.com, the assets, as well as OS for any attachments, but the team is checking both of those places prior to that outreach happening. And if it's there, then it wouldn't it wouldn't get flagged. It would just move downstream.
Okay. Cool. And then you also mentioned rate, right? Something that you guys go through if the rate doesn't match up, right? So obviously, you know, in Solo or Vision, we have the ability to say how much they're paying, price per kilowatt. There is a threshold though, right, for it to get through quality control in order for it to be passed. I last I heard, I thought it was 7 cents, within 7 cents of what it is. What do you know what the threshold is, so people can be aware?
Don, what's our current threshold? Do you remember?
Hold that thought. I'm pulling up the SOP now. I want to
You'll-
say
you'll
7
pull it up and get you an
sounds
answer
right,
there.
but just give me 2 seconds here.
It's within 6 or 7 cents. I just can't remember off the top of my head. We'll pull the SOP and have that information.
Okay. Yeah. So, and you know, because if you overinflate, you know, how much the client's paying,
yeah,
then it's going to get flagged, you guys. So definitely, you know, keep it within a few cents of what it is, and obviously it fluctuates. There's different generation charges and taxes and all that stuff that's all factored in. But yeah, don't overinflate what you don't need to. You know what I mean?
And
be honest.
so let me just talk a little bit about that processing piece. So if a project is there, it's sold, it's clean, and everything is there that's needed to be there, it hits intake does all their checks, and then it flows directly downstream to welcome team. If a project comes in and it's missing items, it gets flagged to contract review. Contract review will do an outreach to the seller and or homeowner to clear those flagged items. And then once those items are clear, it moves downstream to the welcome team to start that welcome call process or acknowledgement process. And just so that the team is aware, that happens in a number of different ways. There are certain lenders that require a call to happen. So we will make an outbound call to the customer to verify all of the components of the contract and loan docs. It can happen through an email and text verification, which is the same as the call, except we put it into an email format with all of the components and pricing. And then newly, just rolled out about 2 to 3 weeks ago, is the homeowner self-service onboarding app. So in the My Powur app now, a customer can do that welcome acknowledgement piece themselves, which will speed up the process considerably. Because right now, I can tell you it takes us on average about 3 attempts to reach somebody to complete a welcome call. So if we can eliminate that time up front of a day or 2 days or 3 days to reach somebody to complete a welcome call, projects move much quicker. So we've put it into the My Powur app now through homeowner self-service onboarding. And what I would tell you is, one, everybody you sell to, please let's get them into the app and have them do the onboarding themselves through the homeowner self-service onboarding. The caveat to that is, if you're at the kitchen table making the sale today, you can't download the app and see the project in there. It has to go into OS, so that's the best way to put it. It has to be in intake prior to it being in the homeowner self-service onboarding app. So I would say, as you're making that sale and you're referencing homeowner self-service onboarding to the customer, just advise them to go in the next day or within 24 hours to complete that process. And that, again, will speed up that timeline for getting it through.
Absolutely. I've actually been the past few months now, I've gotten in the habit. It's part of my closing the sale process is after they've completed solar docs, loan docs, and they've completed everything. I then go into powur.com and I push, hey, share. You know what? I'll show you guys in case you guys don't know. Here we go in Powur. If we go to any project, for example, this one I just sold. Oh, come on. It's taking a while. Look, Jill Paris sold her 10 minutes before this deal. This is actually a friend of mine's mom. Reached out, got her hooked up. But it was so quick. If you go down here on the summary tab, you're going to go send link to homeowner.
Yep.
Right now, she just received an email and it's flawless. It happens instantly. She's going to get an email saying download the My Powur app. And she's going to download the My Power app. And as soon as she logs in with her email, it actually links directly to her project, and it says step 1 site survey. So I'm hoping that it gets to a point to where that self-service, that homeowner self-onboarding, to where they can just acknowledge it right there instantly. Do you know if the My Power app has the ability to send push notifications?
It does. The customer can allow for push notifications. And yes, that's the whole point there. And I know Joseph and Cynthia had a question, but as soon as they log in, any homeowner now, the first thing they'll see outside of creating their account will then be, hey, you need to complete these steps to acknowledge your project details. And then they would go in and acknowledge, yep, I know that it's this amount, I've got this many panels, this many, whatever the equipment details are, and other details of the contract. And then once they complete that, they can then follow the rest of their journey through the My Power app from an installation perspective.
Yeah, I love that.
Give Joseph or Cynthia.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on and do some questions, Q&A. Cynthia, I believe you had your hand raised first. What's up? What's up?
Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. Almost afternoon. I had a question about the interconnection application for California. I have a couple of clients that are closing escrow this week, and they were able to transfer service early to their name. And I have their account number, meter number, picture of everything. So I am able to put meter and account number in there. But of course, they don't have a utility bill quite yet. Is that going to be sufficient for their net metering application?
I'll get an answer for you from Kevin and team on the interconnection side, Cynthia, but I believe it should be, because they don't have a current bill, it should be enough.
Okay, and I have one more question. When it comes to, I did notice that Powur sent out a couple docs manually for me, and they put the wrong person on the interconnection application. And so if I find that the wrong person is on there and I need a new application sent out to the homeowner, but I'm unable to send it because of a price and finance thing, who is the best person to reach out to resend the application? Because I know it's really busy, but I'm having a hard time getting an answer.
Bianca, is that something that sales support can resend?
I don't think we have the ability to resend the interconnection documents.
Not interconnection, no.
Yeah, that would be interconnection.
Yeah. Cynthia, let me get a name and a contact point, and I'll get that out to this entire team. I'll just respond to the email.
Yeah, that is pretty crucial right now. I mean, obviously, all our customers are on pins and needles. Hey, it's their fault for not signing up a year ago, but they are signing up now, and so people are asking. And if we know we need to make a correction, if we can have a point, or I don't even know, maybe our project managers can even say, hey, here's a DocuSign for the interconnection application. We can get that handled.
Yeah, we will. I'll get an answer. We've got an entire surge team around this interconnection application and trying to get all of these through processing. So I'll get an answer from Justin and team today and get that out to this group.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Joseph,
Jared, really quick.
Oh, go ahead. Yep.
Yep. Just wanted to come back to you guys on the variance for the utility bill. So
yes.
I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. It's a little awkward, but bear with me. So if the amount on the utility bill is under 15 cents, the variance can be up to 5 cents. Okay. If it's over 15 cents on the utility bill, then it can be up to 10 cents in variance.
Understand.
Okay.
So if they pay 24 cents per kilowatt, then if you had it listed at 34 cents, it'd be within the variance. But if at 35 cents, you'd be over. But if they paid 12 cents per kilowatt, and you had it listed at 17 cents, it'd be within the variance, but 18 cents would be over. Did I
You
know
got
that?
it. Yes,
All
sir.
right, cool.
Hey,
Thank
and
you
then
for
really
that.
quick, we were talking about the homeowner self-service onboarding. You mentioned site survey. Currently, site survey is not in the app itself. They can give us a date if they have a specific date in mind, but that actual scheduling happens by my team reaching out to schedule that site survey. Just want to clarify that for you guys. That's not in there yet. That's a future iteration.
That is such a huge pain point as well, is the site survey, the date, who's reaching out, when's it going to be? If we like I notice on power.com on the back end, when you go to site survey, like for example, I'm just going to share my screen. Here's Jill Paris. She signed a cash deal. This was earlier this morning. If I go over to site survey over here, if I plug in these dates, does it do anything? Is this going to push it forward? Does this help out? Jason say no.
What that'll do is that'll flow over to my team. And then my team will use that upon the reach out to say, hey, looks like this date works for you. Does this date still work for you? So yes,
Okay.
that is helpful information.
It is helpful. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Just one.
It's best if we have something pre-populated there because it helps us with the conversation with the homeowner. We don't have to start from zero, but the outreach still has to happen. So we have to verify that they are available for site survey. Obviously, the best course of action is virtual site survey, and anytime you can do that, it keeps an on-site, on-demand site survey needing to happen. So VSS is the preferred path. And then just no longer term, the plan is to put site survey scheduling in the app as well. So they'll be able to choose their date and time, and it would go out, somebody would grab it and come by and do the site survey. That's future, longer term plans, but it is part of the plan.
Cool. Love it. I love all the improvements coming. All right, let's move along because I know we got a ton of questions. Joseph, you were next in line. You have a question, sir?
Like I do 99% of my deals face to face. So they sign, I'm there in front of them. I've been using the My Powur app, it's right on my phone. I just do it right there and then I just add a ticket and say I've already done it. Instead of sending an email to myself or asking the customer to do it. And that's acceptable, correct? Because I did get a deal through like that.
Yeah, but from a project acknowledgement, which is what we're talking about, the customer still would need to go in and acknowledge the project. Your selling of the deal is totally separate.
Well, don't they do a welcome call? I mean, I'm doing the My app. I mean, I have a My app right on my phone. I'm doing the site survey. I'm going up, look through the rafters. Just some people are not going to hurry up and do that. I'm there. I've already signed them up. I should be able to go and do that and then they get the welcome call, right? Or am I missing something?
No, you can do that, but the welcome call is a separate thing, and that's what we're talking about. It has to go through the welcome call. So even though you've done that, they'll still have to do a welcome call.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but I'm just a little bit confused. So you're asking me to have them do the site survey themselves, or you're asking me to send the email to myself and do it, or maybe?
So the ask is that a customer, or it's not even an ask, it is available now. A customer can do all of their project acknowledgement themselves versus having to have that be part of the welcome call. It saves time and effort. So the only thing is today, if the app didn't exist, it would go into project intake. If it was clean, then it would flow into the welcome team. The welcome team would do an outreach call that would confirm all of the details of the project with the homeowner, try to schedule the site survey and assign the PM and installer to that particular project. If they do that in the app, it saves a lot of time and confusion with a homeowner because all of that is done up front. And the only thing we're doing then is calling to schedule a site survey if needed and assign the installer and PM to the project.
So I have an appointment today. I sign the person up. I should go into site survey. I should send the link to the customer and expect them to do this? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying if you sign somebody up today, follow whatever your normal course of action is, but tell the customer, hey, within 24 hours, you can go in and acknowledge all of your project details, and someone will confirm that with you.
And that's through the site survey app, though, that I send it.
It's through the My Powur app, which is all the same thing. It's all within the same My Powur app. And then Joseph, just really quick, what I would recommend is if you're in the home at the table and after you signed up, you send them the app, you'll help them walk through, download the app. And if you want to do the site survey, you can literally do it, the virtual site survey from their phone right there on the spot, and that moves it forward.
Okay, that's what I'll do. All right.
Perfect.
Or you can do it from your own phone because you'll have it in your phone and Powur sees it the same way.
Sure.
Through my Powur. That's the way I've been doing it. That's what I was trying to
do.
Joseph, just to clarify, the site survey and the project acknowledgement are two completely separate
Yeah.
deals, right? What you're doing from a site survey VSS perspective, man, keep doing that. Do those pictures, climb up in the rafters, like you said, get that done when you're in the house with them. That's one less step on that project acknowledgement email or project acknowledgement welcome call that we do. My team reaches out for.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, I'll keep doing what I'm doing and I'll send them the link for an acknowledgement and let them know that there'll be a welcome call in a few days as well.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Bill, you're next. What do you got?
Yeah, real quickly. So I want to distinguish the difference between a welcome call and an acknowledgement letter. Does the acknowledgement letter, if they get it, that states the terms, the system size, equipment, financing, monthly, yada, yada, and they reply yes to that, does that eliminate the welcome call then because they've acknowledged everything?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
clear.
It does.
Second
Now,
point, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Second point is on the milestones and the PM notes or the notes. I'm getting a lot of stuff in there and I don't know who it's coming from. In the past, when I had a project manager, she used to put her initials on at the end of it. So I knew who it was. Now I'm getting stuff and I can't tell if it's coming from design, the welcome team, finance, who, and then it says contact your PM, and yet there hasn't even been a PM assigned to the project yet. So now I'm like in a quandary. Is there really a problem here, or is it working through the process? Should I let it sit, or do I proactively try to solve this? And then, so that's the question. The other thing is when I send in to Powur support, it gets, thank you for, sending in the support. We're going to reply as soon as we can, but there's no label, there's no number given to that support issue at that time. Now, later it comes, and then later they're always asking me, how is the support on this number? But I can't match the number up with my original request because there's no number given. So those are issues in the system that I've found out are, throwing my logical mind into a
So
tailspin.
let's take both of those. And first, I would say on the OS notes, we can take that feedback to the larger team and the OS development team and see if there's things that we can do to tag where that note is coming from, Bill. I can tell you internally, if Don's team or Bianca's teams are working a particular issue and they are putting a note in the OS, we typically put our initials next to it. But there are other tags from other teams that may not. So we'll take that feedback to the team and see if there's something we can do differently there. I think that's good feedback.
Yeah, and then careful that what they put in there, if that is going apparently through to the homeowner on the note,
Real quick, you guys,
about
we're
the
getting
wording that they
feedback.
use, right? They're not saying this project is stuck on hold, there's a problem. If the homeowner reads that, it needs to be done a little bit more delicately, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a difference between an internal note and an external note that are reply to all that the homeowners can see. On the ticketing system, so if you reach out to support, typically when it replies, it should open a ticket for you and assign a Zendesk ticket number. If it's not applying a Zendesk ticket number, that's an issue, and we can dig in there and see what the root cause is.
Perfect.
I know we're going to run out of time, but I know that.
Yeah, let's try to jump through a couple more questions. If you can be a little bit brief, leave it to one question. Jason, you've been patiently waiting.
Hey, thanks guys for everything that you're doing. First of all, my question is pretty simple. I'm trying to actually use the site survey tab and put at least 2 dates and times in there on every project. I'm not using VSS as much as I'd like, just due to some past experiences, but that's neither here nor there. My question is, given the influx that we're working with, is, about 5 work days out appropriate? And B, what I'm noticing is that with more and more clients choosing TPO products where we're not battling the high interest rates and the compressed market, I'm finding that those Sonova projects, a week isn't even seemingly enough time to give our team in Sonova enough time to shake hands and do what they have to do for us to actually have cohesive communication. And so as a result, the homeowners are starting to get a little bit concerned and frustrated that it seems like the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing. Can you give me some advice in terms of timelines when we're working with, say, TPO versus a straight purchase?
Yeah, I would say 5 days is more than enough timeline, especially on a clean project, even on one that has an issue like a name mismatch. Typically, we're clearing those things same day, if not within 24 hours. And 5 days out should be enough time. I would say if it hits the welcome team's queue, and Don can keep me honest here, we're clearing all of that within 48 hours. It's never going to sit longer than that. And again, if the recommended time is 5 days out, should be plenty of time for us to use that recommendation from a welcome team perspective. On the Sonova deals, I would be interested. I'll have to dig into that feedback, Jason, because I don't know that I have seen that Sonova is taking that much longer than any other project if it's clean versus not clean. They typically run along the same timelines. Like if it was a clean Sonova deal versus a clean Mosaic deal, they would still be done within 24 to 48 hours. It doesn't really matter the lender. It's when something is broken that may take some additional time. Sonova is a little bit trickier than others because of working with that particular lender. But again, I don't know that I've seen an inordinate amount of time to clear a Sonova item versus any other.
You're just asking, I've got a project out in Hellendale. I know it's kind of out in the boonies, but it's Sonova. He has yet to receive any sort of confirmation of a site survey, which I guess leads to another question. Should I be advising my clients that they will receive a call confirming the site survey date and time? Because some folks are getting a call while the technician is en route, and that's the first that they've heard of it.
No, they should get it prior to that. We have to confirm site survey before it happens. The only caveat to that, Jason, is that's the stuff that we're doing, right? We are handling VSS and we're handling on-demand site survey with our on-demand site surveyors. If that is sent to an installer for assignment and site survey, that's typically out of our control. And an installer, if they were to do that, they shouldn't, but it's possible. And you can give that feedback to us, and we can take that feedback back to the install management team and let them know, hey, we've got some issues we need to work on.
Yeah. It'd be good if we could figure out a way to have some oversight on the projects that are handed off to an installer for that. That way, we're still in the loop and the right hand knows what the left is doing. But I'll yield I'll yield to the next guy.
Let me just give you a couple of updates real quick before you maybe get another question or two. So obviously, homeowner self-service onboarding is out there now, and we would use that as a preferred method for having folks acknowledge their contracts and their system components, because it will speed the process up. There are some caveats. Mosaic will always be a call, but most of the other lenders can run through homeowner self-service onboarding. A couple of other changes recently. Obviously, we put all of the PMs in Zendesk as well. So now we have kind of a universal ticketing and communication system, which should help improve communication as well as allow us to track and trend and coach to behaviors relative to communication on projects, not only from our customer success frontline team, but from the PM and OM organization as well. So we're hoping to continue to improve on our overall communication as an organization. We are just launched AnswerBot. If you go to sales support chat now, you'll see the first thing it asks you to do is ask a question. That's on purpose. It does two things. One, it takes you to knowledge base, because best place to get an answer is yourself through knowledge base if you can. And two, if you can't, AnswerBot should be able to. However, I know there are challenges. It is a new product for us, and we are working through continuing to fine-tune AnswerBot so that it is making more relative suggestions to the team and giving the right information. So we've received some good feedback. We're continuing to work on that product, but the idea is it's much quicker and better to self-service than to wait for somebody to help you, right? And knowledge base is there. If the knowledge base article is wrong, if Chad is giving you the wrong information, provide that feedback through the AnswerBot system. But obviously, if it's not, you will always see the ability to chat with somebody live. So that ability is always there. But AnswerBot is good. That automated AI should start to reference relative articles to the question that's being asked. The other thing We are in midst of hiring, obviously all of the volume. We want to make sure that we're able to handle that for you all and to process things timely and get you paid on time. So know that the team is in a pretty big hiring crunch right now to bring on additional headcount to support you all from a sales perspective. And we hope to have most of that hiring done here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll get them onboarding and have them there from a support perspective going forward. The other thing, we get a couple of questions, probably more, a day from sellers around customer payments, CSAT payments, appeasement payments. All of that information is handled through a vendor that we brought on called Best Payment Solutions. And it is much quicker for you to have the customer reach out to BPS directly via the email that they received or through going to powerpayments.com to request that support. It takes us out as a middleman trying to liaison between the customer and BPS. So any questions relative to like pre-PTO loan appeasement payments because of project delays or any other type of CSAT payments, just have them reach out directly via the email that they got from BPS or by contacting BPS directly. But all of those payments are now in BPS from a contract rebates and our customer facing perspective. So that helps us improve the overall servicing of payments. Those are all surfaced into BPS as well.
All right, hold on. I know
from a seller facing perspective, I know Bianca, you had 1 or 2 things you wanted to share with the team from outreach on sales support.
Just in general for change orders. So we're seeing a very high increase in change orders that are currently coming through, and we're currently working through it in the sales support team. But what's slowing the process down is that we're getting duplicates, and sometimes we're having up to 5 that have been submitted. So we have to work through all of those duplicates as well as, get to the root cause of the actual change order that needs to be completed. So if we can just submit one and then just allow at least 2 days in order for the change order to be completed and not submit any more, that will help us to get through the backlog that we currently have.
And I think that goes back to a comment Jared made earlier on is don't send something and then send 5 emails asking about where it is in the process. That just slows everything down. And understand what our current SLAs are. Maybe we should just send out an SLA doc. I'll take that as a takeaway. But if you submit something today, don't send 3 emails over the next hour asking for it and escalating around the issue, because it's just going to cause fires and delays that aren't necessary.
Understood. Thank you for sending that out, or letting everybody know that. Tracy, you had a question, then we'll go to Bill, and then we'll wrap this up, and then I will stick around for office hour for just open Q&A on anything. But obviously we want to respect these guys' times and let them get back to work. Tracy, what do you got?
Yeah, Daniel, I had a question regarding permit applications. I currently do a lot of new construction ADUs, ground ups in California. And I did talk to some of my clients there and want to get in on the NEM 2. So, and some don't have meters right now. So, and I'm also submitting meter applications for the new electrical panels for the new ADUs or homes. Is it okay that I go ahead and submit an application for solar as well as a part of it, or should I do that separately?
My best guess there is for you to do it separately. Tracy, just shoot me a quick email. It's daniel.dfiore@powur.com, and just shoot me a quick email real quick. I want to do a little bit of research and then get you an answer.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I know I talked to PG&E. They said as long as we have the load application in, they'll give an exception for new construction past the sunset date. So I just want to make sure that I'm not stepping on anybody's toes on your end, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting it in on my end.
Please just shoot me an email. I want to confirm everything with Kevin and team prior to giving you an answer, because it's pretty sensitive and very critical for you to get the right answer.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, if you could help her get the correct answer to that. And you guys just know this is not the interconnection team, right? So if you have interconnection questions, this is intake, right? So they don't submit the applications. They don't send out notifications for applications. This is literally just yes,
No
sorry.
comments.
Sorry,
Oh, no.
Tony. I know that was your question,
Okay.
bro, but all right, Bill, what do you got?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm a little bit along those lines, but have a project started this month, changed lenders, went away from Sunlight to Good Leap, just signed, documents came out. It is a NEM-A project, an aggregation 2 meters. And the docs at first looked like, because the NEM-A application is different. It's got the worksheet for the aggregation where you listed the meters. And I saw that come through on one set of docs, and then another set of docs, the ones that they signed, had a standard NEM agreement. That's going to have to be changed, correct? And I'm going to have to
Yeah, it
make
would
sure
have to
that
be changed. but I
that
would
goes
just-
through. So, and I'm just wondering that my real question is, do I reach right out to? I've got a connection in the interconnection department. Do I reach directly out to them, or just work? My project manager, I have to say,
I would work.
a little
I
slow.
would work directly with the project manager, and if you're not getting a response, that's unfortunate. That's something we
Okay.
need to address. But
Okay.
what's the region? Oh, California. So,
Yeah. NorCal. So
Scott
So Scott
Kepler,
Klepetar.
right, is the
Yeah.
OM on that. Yeah.
Yep.
And you could loop Scott in to see if we can get this done more quickly.
very good.
And maybe one last thing, just for this team, so you kind of get a scope. I know Jared just called it out, but from project intake, contract review, welcome team, sales support, customer care, executive escalations, and commissions all fall within my organization, and Don and Bianca head up the good portion of those groups. As things happen, if there is an escalation that is needed, again, not everything should be an escalation, but we're the folks that lead those departments, and you can reach out, right, on those things that are highly escalated to have us push those along.
Thank you. And Tony, we'll wrap up with you, brother. I know you got lots of questions, bro.
No, I just have one question on intake. I'm getting like a lot of, I guess it just going into like MPU, like this project's on hold awaiting MPU, but it's not real. It's just like a trigger that it goes away, but it's there, so I've been getting it a lot. And then it's in milestone notes, but it's not from a project manager, because the project manager is saying they didn't put it there, but it's happening a lot.
Can you just send me an example so Don and I can dig in? I'd be interested. It's not an automatic flag. So Don, unless I'm wrong, will be flagging MPU automatically. If it's checked, it has to have a price associated to it. So
No, I was saying like change order needed, MPU, like I'm getting that one a lot. And then it just goes into a hold, and it gets lifted, but I don't have a PM yet. When I ask like the OM, they're like, I can't see it. It's not assigned yet. So this is, pre.
Yeah, just send me an example so we can, get
customer support, but.
Tony,
Yeah,
I've
Tony,
been, I've been
definitely
getting
flip
the
that
same
over, man.
thing. I've been getting a lot of the same things. It says this project is on hold, but there's no reason given. And it's, it just
Right.
submitted 15 minutes ago. So it has to be an auto flag.
Yeah,
There's
Daniel,
no-
and I'll second exactly what they're saying. I'm getting the exact same thing. I'm getting a lot of
What's going on?
projects on hold.
Yeah.
Contact your project manager, but there's no project
There's no-
manager assigned, and that gives us a like, oh, what do we do? And that's where we're like trying to contact chat, trying to find someone, which is obviously taking resources away. So there is some sort of automation that's putting holds on our projects and telling
There
us to
is.
get a hold of someone that doesn't exist.
Yeah, with the big red caution
Ditto,
sign,
ditto.
with the exclamation red mark, and it makes you look like alert, and it's like, it's just in process.
Yeah, that is a known item that we're working through so that the team knows it's already been raised. We already are changing some of the verbiage within OS to be more precise about what the actual hold is and where we are. Yeah, because there are times if it's this MPU flag, you wouldn't have a PM assigned yet because it's still in contract review. So we are working through that issue, and we'll have an update to OS soon.
Okay. Well, look, you guys, I just want to say huge thank you to you guys coming on, taking the time, speaking with our team. Someone just said they're new to Powur and that this is absolute genius and that their old company would never have operations communicate with the sales team like that. We are all about transparency. Listen, this is construction. We are trying to herd a range of cats across the country and make it all work. It's a lot of hard work. We have to have patience. but we're doing it together. And I just want to say sincere, we are grateful to you guys and, helping making this dream come true. So I'll let you guys go. Daniel, Bianca, Donald, thank you
Thank
guys.
you, Daniel.
Hey, we
Thank you.
appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having us,
We are
guys.
Thank you.
One team. We're in it together. So we're here to help any way that we can. Appreciate the time today to come in and talk to y'all, and we can set up another time later on to do some more Q&A.
Right on, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. You have a good one.
All right.
Take care, guys.
So with that being said, you guys, thank you very much. You can go ahead and drop it in the chat. Tell them thank you. We super appreciate these guys. I'm just
Thank
gonna
you
get,
guys so much.
yeah, I'm just gonna get to some house cleaning in order. So real quick updates. Powur Day. This is April 15th. This is coming to a city near you. Invite your guests, invite your family. Invite your prospects. This is an incredible day. Leadership gets together, they do a training, they go over the business opportunity, or career opportunity, should I say. SolarCon's coming up. I know a lot of heavy hitters are going to be there. Jonathan Budd's going to be there. Bernasso's going to be speaking. Charles Thompson's going to be speaking. It's going to be 3 days straight fire. Tons of fun. If you're thinking about going, I think you can still get a 20% off discount by putting in Solar Realtor. And then Powur World, that is at the end of the year. This is in person in San Diego. Get your tickets. It's going to be incredible. 3 days, top leadership of everyone. This is actual Powur. Everyone's going to be there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then future trainings. This is our Tuesday Power Hitter Solar Warrior Tribe training, as we do every week at 10 a.m. on Pacific. But, Monday, you got training with JC Wrangles, connectwithjc.com. That is straight fire, 10 a.m. Pacific. You have lease PPA training, which is going to become more and more popular. That's with Rachel on Wednesdays. Thursdays, excuse me, Melissa Dawson's doing enterprise training. Don't forget, we have Women of Power with Marisa at 10 a.m. on Thursdays. If you're brand new to Powur, make sure you get on with Powur Onboarding. That's Thursdays, 12 p.m. Pacific. Building with Bobby, you never want to miss it. Like we said last week, we had JC Rangel straight dropping fire. And then you can find this and more on powercalendar.com. And then the last couple things I do want to send. One, Bernasso wanted me to share this with you guys. Last night they did training on batteries and NEM 3. It was recorded. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat. Another thing is Tom Cotter put together. This is a GoFundMe for Project Manager NEM 3.0 Appreciation Fund. If you feel so kind, so generous, you guys were making life-changing money over here, but these people are working so hard on the back end, in the back office, to get it all through. So if you feel like leaving them a tip, please do. Go ahead. I'm going to drop that in the chat as well. Where that's coming from. Got to mute your phone, bro. And then one last thing before we wrap this up. This is obviously going to be recorded, put on my YouTube channel. We got the brand new YouTube channel, Virtual Solar Pro. I'm putting that in the chat as well. If you guys could be so kind, help your boy out, click on the link, subscribe, so that way when we get these recordings, you'll be notified right away. So I just went ahead and put the new YouTube channel in the chat as well. With that being said, it's 11:13. I'm going to stop the recording, but hang on for open office hour. So if you have general questions, I'll hang on for another 15, 20 minutes or so and help people out. So with that being said, you guys, let's crush it. End of the month, record numbers. Power on, baby.
Thank you, Jarrett.
Good job, man.
And the
Jared, you're just getting better and better, dude.